Going live, going live, and we're going to be talking about calling in the one, calling in the one. You know, wait till people get on. It's a short little live here. We're talking about calling in the one, which is a topic people I feel like through life have a journey, a little side journey besides having your career established, besides having your mental and emotional things established, calling the person that is meant for you. So I'm doing a mini series on calling in the one. So calling in the one, which I'm doing a short series, is about becoming the person that you want to attract. Like if you could ask yourself, would I date me? Could I spend a whole weekend by myself? And do I enjoy my company? That's the whole process of calling in the one. I just shot a video on cord cutting. Cord cutting is releasing anything from your past, any ex-boyfriends who are still on your social media, on your Instagram, people that are following you on TikTok that still send you a DM, hey, do you remember me? Calling in the one is about flushing everything from your past down the toilet because we don't want to pull old shit back up. We want to walk forward in a journey where we call in the one, they have a full space that's been already filled with like rich soil so it can grow. You don't want to put old fertilizer in new plants because that's going to hinder the growth. Calling in the one, it's about releasing and cord cutting mentally, emotionally, and energetically people from your past. Even from like the pictures that you have, from old gifts that you got, from even like the whole box that you might put aside underneath your bed of like, oh, these are the memories that I had when the so-and-so and I dated. Calling in the one is about releasing everything. One technique I tell my clients to do, if you really want to hold on to a memory or the image of a person that meant something for you, is send yourself 3 to 5 pictures into your email. That way it's still lost in the abyss, but if you ever want to know that it existed, that it was a true memory, you can have that in your cloud storage of your email, but it won't be on your phone. You won't have the pictures. You won't have any memories that pop up like on iPhone, it has like picture memory. You want to clear all your space in the back, and some people are so attached to letting that person go, letting those memories go, that trip, that Christmas, the holidays, of the memories you guys built. They're so attached to it. But what you don't know is when you let go of the past, you make room, a beautiful unknown of what the present and the future can bring to you, because you never know the next person you'll fall in love with and that will fall in love with you unless you let go of old memories of love. So now you want to recreate a whole new version of what love means to you by letting go of the version of love that you created in the past. And letting go of the past version of love is letting go of all the memories that came with it. And also people that you had short-term dating. Let's just say you dated somebody for a couple months, 3 months. You knew it wasn't going to go long-term, but you tested the waters with this person. You might have met them on online apps. So those relationships come and go briefly. If they're still following you on social media, if they're on your Instagram, if they're watching your stories, let them go. Just hit that unfollow button on that person. You don't want them to be in your space. You also don't want to have memories of that person either. The more you clear your energetic space from the people from your past, the more you can welcome in this new energy of people that you want to bring in and call them the one, because this is what we're going for. We're not going for the people we thought were the ones. We want to call in the one, and in order to do that, you have to create a space energetically for people to come in. 14MK, what's up, man? The best power move you can make is removing them from your energy. For sure, man, for sure. And while I'm on this live, if anybody has any questions, I rarely do lives in the afternoon. But if you happen, welcome guys, Christy, anybody who's coming in, welcome, welcome. If you have any questions, I'm doing this quick live. I'm doing a short series on calling in the one, and about calling in the one, it's about being the one. And part of being the one is making a list. I've done this. I've written down exactly who I wanted to attract. Hello, Christy Chancey. Hello. Hello, everybody, for coming in. Anybody that's joining in, welcome. If you have any questions, If anything that comes up on your journey of either going through your whole no contact, you're starting a new relationship, you don't know where your relationship is at, or you're going towards the path of calling in the one, I want to hear your guys' questions. I'm here on live just for a brief moment, just so I can try something where in the daylight, because I'm such a night owl, I'm always like up late at night that I only go live at night. But the sun's out, and I just got done shooting a video on calling in the one. And the video, I don't know where my relationship is at. What is it that, how long have you been dating? What's making you doubt it? And have you asked this question to your person? Like where we're at? Is it, can you call it? Is it in the time frame that it is a relationship where it's been acknowledged? Put your answer in comment below. But yeah, just getting here on live. I just got done shooting a video on calling in the one, and the video was about cord cutting. We want to cut the cords from our past because we want to bring in new, fresh energy into the future. And sometimes we hold on to the memory a much more longer than the actual person has been in our life. I talked to people that still reminisce on the person they dated 3 years ago, and they only dated for like 6 months. So that time of keeping that memory alive, that person alive in your head, is so much more longer, and it's taking so much more space in your head than the actual time frame of the relationship. Do you respond to mediumship questions? Can you elaborate? Like mediumship questions, like from like the ether? We're all connected. So if you want to ask a question like that, I will go off a little topic here, but yeah, I've got my experience where I've received messages where I feel is from my guides, and they've never been wrong. Like when you're tapped in to your guides, when you're aligned, you get directed, which is a topic I haven't really discussed here, but I'm all about that. Ewell talks about his work. He interrupts anything I talk about. Been together for 2 years, but known each other since 3rd grade. He always talks about his work. He interrupts anything I talk about. Okay, Christine, we want you to be seen and heard. Because when you're seen and heard, you're being valued. And this is where I hope you feel something with me. Wow. We want to have you be seen and heard. When you're being seen and heard, you're being valued. And your relationship, your partner in your relationship is like, hey, Christine, I'm here. I'm working right now. I can set this time apart so I can have you in my space because I value the space that we're cultivating and we're growing. But if he's just a quick like, hey, I'm going to cut this. Can you leave me alone? Can you just go ahead and just leave me to the side for a minute? You want to respect people's space, but if they're consistent enough in their actions where they're not allowing you to be seen or heard, consciously, Christine, consciously in our soul, in our embodiment, we want to be with somebody who allows us to have a safe space that we can cultivate. We can cultivate an arena that we're both growing and we're both witnessing each other's growth. And that's really what you want. I would suggest have a conversation. You could either write it on a note, you could send me an email, or at a safe in a safe environment where there's not going to be outside triggers, maybe not during work hours. Just enroll yourself in that conversation. Hey, Mark, there's something I want to talk to you. Do you have 5-10 minutes that we can talk about this? And then stay quiet. Notice his posture, his body language. If he's apprehensive, if he's hesitation, cue up a response to that. Like, hey, if it's just gonna be something soft and easy that we all want to talk about, well, I want to bring it up to your attention. Love is created to communication because it creates connection, and that's what you want. He overtalks me every time. I hope he feels, yeah, me too. Every time I write note in his lunch break every night. I write note it in his lunch bucket every night. I don't know what that means. Dang, Christine, I can kind of feel that you're standing for the relationship. Like you're the 3 legs of the relationship, and he's like the 4th one. It sounds like his investment in it. I don't know, because perhaps he's got other things that he's prioritizing. But this relationship where you're standing up for it, it sounds like you're in it, and only a matter of time where you start to give in, because so much pressure and weight that only you can sustain, that it starts to deteriorate. So I would suggest, if you know that you can support this and bring in that space in a very safe environment for him to have the conversation where you put a boundary, do not interrupt what I'm about to say. Give me a timer of 2 minutes, and when my time is done, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to respond back. That plays like a little referee, where this is the time that we're gonna give ourselves in order to have this conversation. My best friend's passed away last week, and I was curious as to what she passed from. Heather, I cannot answer that for you. I would say that in your mind's eye, if you want to get into a meditative state and energetically have the conversation with her, you may not get a response, but what you want to create a space for is to feel the love that she has for you, in a space of love that you want to give back to her. But as far as the actual reason why, that just could be like an investigation that could be done elsewhere. But for you to have a peace of mind knowing that energetically you're still connected to your best friend. I would try that. I keep pulmonary embolism. Okay. I would try that. Right noted. I right noted his lunch bucket every night. Yeah, Christine, you're a soldier in this relationship, and you get rewarded. And one of the ways that you should get rewarded is the value that you're putting in. That way, whoever you're dating, this person knows that, like, man, like, you're putting in effort, and like you're like a true one if you're putting in effort, and you need to be acknowledged for that. So I'm gonna acknowledge you for standing in for this relationship. 7 weeks no contact, and I had a dream of her last night. So weird. I feel like I moved on though. It's okay. If you had a dream about your ex, you're welcome, Heather. It's always they're always here. They're always here, and we can always send them love. Hasn't affected me as much anymore. Makes me wonder if we're still in each other's thoughts. Well, obviously you are, since you right here. But I want to tell you, 14MK, that it is perfectly normal to have dreams about your ex. Perfectly normal. And the study behind that is that if we have, if there's something that we want to say, or we're past lovers because there's something we wanted to tell them, I would suggest for you is to have a conversation through pen, or write it. So something I used was take my phone, and I would write the person's like, hey, this is this and that. It's a conscious thought, and I'm telling my subconscious, this is the message I would want to send this person. I would even email it to myself, subject line, message to Stacy or whoever, like, this is what I want to say, and this is how I feel, and this is my space. It's been 7 weeks of no contact, and this is how I'm doing. I noticed that you popped up in my dream last night, and I know this is just something that I needed to share with you, and just send it off into the ether of the cloud. That way, and you're allowing yourself to move forward with communication of your conscious to your subconscious mind. I'm going to say that people who you had a long-lasting impact in, they're still going to be in your mind. Like, it's going to happen. Brianna Rodriguez will get a boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, get a boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah, if you want a boyfriend or girlfriend. Sometimes the best person to date is you. When you date yourself, because you're living in a space of freedom and passion, compassion, solidarity, and when you can have this whole matrix of living within yourself as a single person, the person that's meant for you is going to pick that up, like, wow, they don't need me in their life, but it sure looks fun if I was to do what they're doing, because what they're about in life. I always tell people that be single to the point that your freedom, you're wanting to exchange your freedom to create space for this person to be in your life. But that person has to be like at a level that you're like, oh, I want to see this person more. But the trade-off is your freedom. So this person has to have certain values that are aligned and congruent with your life, that you're willing to exchange your freedom over so they can come in place as well. Welcome, Moonstar. Hasn't affected me as much anymore. Makes me wonder. Okay, that's right. That one. Cool. But yeah, what we're talking about today is calling in the one. This is a book I read a while back, and I'm referencing it because it had really good pointers whenever you're doing no contact and you're wanting to create space to call in the one. the perfect material about this is that you got to let go of the past. So while you're doing no contact, while you're moving transition away, being single, and you want to like get in the space of calling in somebody that you want to spend, anywhere from short term, long term, eternal life with, there's certain techniques that you do, such as getting rid of like